everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Cassie Walker, an art teacher from Utah. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hi, welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. My name is Cassie Walker and I am an elementary school teacher in Sandy, Utah. Today for our project we are going to be creating an underwater ocean scene using a wax resist. Join me as I show you the supplies that we need to get started for this project. For this project, you're going to need a thick piece of paper, either cardstock or watercolor paper, since we'll be putting a lot of water on our paper. You're going to need some salt, crayons, water, and a medium-sized paintbrush, and a set of watercolors. To create our underwater landscape, we are just going to draw some of the things that you might see in a coral reef or right underneath the ocean surface. We're going to start with drawing some seaweed, and we are just going to have our seaweed start at the bottom of the page and wavy lines coming up. Now we want the seaweed to be really tall, and it's going to frame in our picture. So I am going to add paint, watercolor to it. So I don't want to color in the whole thing, but I am giving it a little bit of color with my crayons. I'm just using two different kinds of green. For the ocean floor, I'm going to use my tan, and I'm not really drawing anything beforehand. I am just laying down this color. I do want a little bit of the color to come through, but I really also want to see the sand. So I'm gonna color pretty good, and I'm gonna make the ocean floor uneven, and so I'm going to bring it up even taller up here. Now before I color it in, I'm gonna add some more coral, or just add some coral over on this side. We haven't added any yet. So I'm gonna start by adding these big finger corals. And I'm even gonna come up a little bit higher. And I'm gonna color them in just a little bit, but not all the way, because I'm gonna watercolor in them as well. And right here, I'm gonna add some really low coral to make this a little pink. Just a little bit of interest here on our ocean floor, like a little ocean sea flower. And then we're gonna add another large piece of coral right here. I just use a wavy line, and this one is even going to go off my page, and just filling it in just a little bit. So I have things that are kind of colored in, but not all the way. And now I can go ahead and really fill in the rest of my sand. I might even take a gray, add some sea rocks and a clamshell. Now once we have our coral, let's add some ocean life. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a school of fish, but they're gonna be far in the distance. So they're gonna look really small. They're gonna be back here in this corner. And so I'm simply going to draw a little sideways teardrop. It almost looks like a sunflower seed, and color it in and put a little triangle on the back. And I am simply going to repeat that for my whole school of fish. And since they're far away, they'll go behind my seaweed. Okay, I have my little school of fish, and I am going to add one more fish right here in the center, only this fish is going to be larger. He is going to be my purple fish. And if you have a favorite fish that you like to draw, feel free to draw your favorite fish. I'm gonna make his eye a little dot and a big dot around it. Now this fish has spots and they are white. So I am gonna take my white And I am going to put dots all inside, and you won't be able to see them. And this fish also has some nice red pink highlights. And I think I'm ready to start painting, with the exception of one last step. Up here at the top, I'm gonna add a little bit of white so it will resist the paint, and it's gonna look a little bit like sea foam. So I'm just kind of scribbling a little bit of white here along the top to give the effect of sea foam. Maybe even a little in the school of fish, because they're kind of zooming fast. And I'm not sure if you can see, if I tip my paper, you might be able to see the white and how I've added that. At this point though, we are ready to start painting. If you haven't already done so, you're gonna take a little bit of water and put a drop of water in each of your water or your watercolor wells to activate those colors so that they are ready to paint with. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna paint inside all of my objects first, and I'm gonna do the ocean last. So the first thing I'm going to paint is I'm going to paint inside of my seaweed. So you can still see some of the crayons that I used, and the paint just covers the rest. I'm going to take my pink and some white. I'm going to come right in here, and then I'm going to bring it right on over here to this coral also. Actually, I have a lot of paint right here, so I'm going to just grab some from there. Okay, for my coral, nice bright sunny yellow. I don't want to forget my little seashell down here and my fish. So his little spots are showing right up. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes to dry, and then we're gonna come back and fill in the rest of it with our ocean. I'm actually going to take my brush and I am going to wash all of the white parts of my picture, and I'm gonna give that blue somewhere to go. And I'm using a lot of my cool colors to kind of create this ocean. And I'm gonna work it into these inside edges of my coral. And I'm okay if the colors start to mix a little bit. Everything's gonna look a little bit like it's underwater, and that's just great. So I'm adding that in there, and I actually need to paint all of this side now with water now that I'm ready. So my paint is still a little bit wet. I probably could have waited a little bit longer. The longer you wait, the less likely you'll have paint that bleeds, but if you don't mind it, then you don't need to wait as long. So when I painted with that water, it really is going to let that paint travel. The water kind of turns it into like a river or a lake or something, so the watercolors can move. And I'm just going back and I'm making sure I have filled in all of the dry spots. I might even give it a brush over. Fill in all of this. Add a little bit of our watercolor over here. What I want to do is I really don't want to put a lot of blue on this yellow, because it's going to turn super muddy. The only way I'd be able to do that is if I waited until that was totally dry, and then I could lightly go over it with a little bit of blue to give it a glazed effect. But it's not all the way dry, so I'm going to leave it as it is. My last step is to add that salt and just sprinkle it on. And once my painting dries, I can brush that salt off. The salt is going to absorb some of my extra paint, kind of make it look like there's some plankton in the water. And there you have it, your underwater ocean watercolor resist. Thanks for joining me today on Artsonia's After School Art Club. I hope you had a great time creating your underwater wax resist. I will see you next time.